Take a deep breath, let the day fade, and let us travel together to a time long ago, to a world where marble temples rose against golden skies and ancient voices echoed through grand forums. We begin in the city of Rome. Let us begin not with endings, but with the golden beginnings. Take a deep breath, let your eyes grow heavy, and let us drift together into the mist of time, to the days when the Roman Empire shone like the morning sun. It is the 2nd century after Christ. Rome is at her height. The world, as the Romans knew it, bends to the will of a single city, a city built on 7 hills rising like a crown above the Tiber River. Picture it. Cobblestone streets bathed in amber light, the scent of olive oil and fresh bread carried on the breeze, marble columns as tall as trees, their white stone glowing in the noonday sun, fountains sing in the plazas. Children laugh in alleyways. Soldiers in polished armor march in perfect rhythm along the Via Appia, Rome's great southern road. This is the Pax Romana, the Roman peace, a time of order, of law, of architecture and art. From the shores of Hispania to the temples of Syria, from the icy frontiers of Britannia to the golden sands of Carthage, Rome reigns, not by fear alone, but by fascination. Her roads are the veins of an empire. Her language, Latin, binds people in law and legend. Her culture wraps around nations like ivy. At the heart of it all is the Forum. There, beneath carved arches and temples to gods old and new, citizens debate, trade, and dream. Senators in white togas whisper beneath porticos. Philosophers speak of duty, of honor, of the stars. Merchants sell wines from Gaul, silks from the east, marble from the mountains. And above them all, one man, the emperor. He is not a king. Rome does not crown kings, but in practice, his word is law. His image, cast in gold and stone, gazes from every corner of the empire. This emperor is Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher, a warrior, a man of thought and steel. He rides at the head of the legions, but at night he writes little notes, quiet reflections, many of which survive even now. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors. Look within. But even as Marcus Aurelius rules with wisdom, he senses the wind shifting. The legions, those patient sons of Rome, are stretched thin across frozen rivers and wild forests. Tribes press at the borders. The treasury feels the strain of distant wars. And Marcus knows nothing lasts forever. He trains his son to follow in his footsteps. But the boy is not his father. When Marcus Aurelius dies in the year 180 A.D., he leaves the empire to his son, Commodus, a man less a philosopher and more a performer. He rules not with quiet wisdom, but with spectacle. He fancies himself Hercules reborn, dressing in lion skins, fighting in the gladiators' ring, not for justice, but applause. The Senate cringes, the people cheer, and beneath the cheers, the empire begins to shift. Corruption blossoms. The grain that once arrived like clockwork from Egypt grows irregular. Roads that were once swept and safe become dangerous. Generals begin to squabble for power. Armies pledge loyalty not to Rome, but to gold or to their commanders. And yet, the marble temples still stand. The aqueducts still flow. For now. Time passes. Emperors rise and fall. Some good, many not. Some are murdered in their sleep. Others poisoned at banquets. For a while, emperors are chosen by the Praetorian Guard, the elite soldiers who are meant to protect them. They sell the throne to the highest bidder. The empire is still vast, still proud. But beneath the golden dome of Roman authority, the stone is cracking. The year is 235 A.D. In just 5 decades, the empire will see over 25 emperors. Some rule for days, others for months. Few die peacefully. And beyond the borders, movement, whispered names, the Goths, the Franks, the Alemanni, whole tribes moving westward, driven by hunger, by hope, by fear of a darker threat behind them. Still, Rome holds, but it will not hold forever. The sun rises gently over the Mediterranean Sea, casting golden light on the waves as they kiss distant shores. A seagull cries, a sail flutters, and far to the north the world is stirring. The Roman Empire has grown tired, not broken, but tired. The borders are no longer quiet. Armies are called to far corners of the world, where snow touches the ground and thick forests hide unknown people. Taxes are heavy, roads are cracked. Citizens look not to Rome, but to their own cities, their own lords, their own survival. Then, in the year 284 A.D., a man comes forth, not born in marble halls, but from the ranks of the army. His name is Diocletian. Diocletian is no poet. He is no philosopher. He is a soldier, a planner, a man of cold resolve. He sees the empire not as a stage, but as a machine, complex, vast, in need of repair. So he does something no emperor before him had dared to do. He divides the empire in two. In the year 285 A.D., the Roman Empire becomes 2 halves, east and west. In the east, Diocletian rules from Nicomedia, near the bustling cities of Asia Minor. This land is rich, urban, vibrant. Temples shimmer in the sunlight. Ships crowd the harbors. Trade flows like water. In the west, another ruler is appointed. He will govern from Milan, near the forests and frontiers, where Rome's strength is most fragile. To many, it seems like a temporary fix. But in truth, the split is the beginning of a transformation, one that will echo for centuries. Diocletian is not done. He creates the Tetrarchy, a rule of 4, 2 senior emperors, 2 juniors, each with their own capital, their own army, their own court. The idea is elegant, efficient. But people do not love ideas. They love stories. They love Rome. And something has been lost. As Diocletian grows older, he does what few rulers have the courage to do. He retires. He retreats to a grand palace on the coast of Dalmatia, surrounded by gardens and libraries. There, among the whispering sea winds and warm stone halls, he tends to his plants and watches the sun set over the Adriatic. But peace is fleeting. Soon, the balance he built begins to crumble. The Tetrarchy unravels. Ambitious generals rise. Civil wars ignite. Brothers fight brothers. The empire begins to bleed once more. And then, from the chaos, a name rises, one that will change the world. Constantine. He is a soldier's son. He sees visions in the sky. He dreams of unity, of a single empire guided by one faith. In the year 312 A.D., at the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, he claims victory beneath a symbol, the Chi Rho, an emblem of Christ. Legend says he saw the sign in the heavens. In this sign, conquer. Constantine unites the empire once more, at least for a time. And more than that, he brings a new religion to the heart of Rome, Christianity. Temples are still honored, traditions still hold. But now, crosses begin to rise beside statues of Jupiter. A new era begins, and Constantine makes one final, lasting decision. He builds a new capital, not in Rome, but in the east, on the site of ancient Byzantium. He names it Constantinople. It is there, far from the old Roman Senate, far from the Colosseum, that the soul of the empire will take shelter for centuries to come. But the West is drifting. The centuries turn. Like pages in a book, worn and faded, yet full of stories. As the Eastern Empire thrives, wrapped in silks and incense, with golden mosaics and domed churches, the Western Empire begins to wither. But not all at once. No, not with fire, not yet. It is a slow fading, a candle burning low, the wax melting quietly. The emperors in the West are fewer now, and weaker. Some are merely boys. Others are generals grasping for power. Rome herself, once the jewel of the world, is no longer even the capital. That honor moves from Milan to Ravenna, a quieter city by the marshes, easier to defend. Far beyond the mountains and rivers, a great movement begins. Tribes, nations, families. They move west, slowly, steadily, in waves like the tide. They are called the Goths, the Vandals, the Franks, the Burgundians, and more. Some have lived near the empire for generations. They've traded with Rome, served in its armies, worshipped its gods. But something has changed. A new terror has come from the east, swift, brutal, and nearly unstoppable. They are the Huns, a fierce nomadic people from the steppes beyond the Danube. On horseback, they strike like lightning, leaving smoke and fear behind them. Those who flee them seek refuge in the empire. In the year 376 A.D., tens of thousands of Visigoths, men, women, children, stand at the edge of the Roman world. They ask to enter. They are cold, hungry, afraid. Rome agrees, but poorly. The officials treat them cruelly. They starve them, cheat them. And soon the Visigoths rise in anger. The year is 378 A.D. On a plain near the city of Adrianople, the Roman army meets the Gothic rebels. The air is thick with dust and heat. The Roman Emperor Valens is there in person. He believes victory is certain. But he is wrong. The battle turns quickly. The Roman legions are surrounded, crushed, slaughtered. The emperor himself dies, his body never found. It is one of the worst defeats in Roman history, and it sends a message, clear and cold. Rome is no longer invincible. The Visigoths do not leave. They settle. They grow. Rome begins to rely on such tribes to fight other tribes. The legions, once made of Romans, are now filled with mercenaries, often from beyond the empire's borders. The empire is still standing, but it is hollowing out. Like an old oak, its roots are deep, but rot has set in beneath the bark. One of the leaders of the Goths is a man named Alaric. He is not a savage. He is not a villain. He was trained by Rome, served in its army, speaks its tongue. But Rome has not treated him kindly. Promises are broken, positions denied. So Alaric marches, not just to make war, but to be heard. He marches toward Rome. The people of the city are terrified. Rome has not seen an enemy at its gates for nearly 800 years. And in 410 A.D., the unthinkable happens. The Visigoths enter the city. They do not burn it to the ground. There is no wildfire or destruction of every monument. But they take what they want: gold, jewels, silk, spices. They take captives. They leave their mark. And the world is shaken. The poet Jerome, writing in distant Bethlehem, pens the words, "The city that had taken the whole world was itself taken." But even in this moment, Rome is not gone. It still breathes, though faintly. To be continued. Good night and good sleep.